This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
You heard me. So what's the latest? I was already notified by Bilski that we're two minutes late. So, we got to start at 8 o'clock or Bilski has a fit.
That's exactly why I held us up a couple minutes. I wanted to hear Bilski. I want to get on Bilski's nerves. Let him know we run the show, not him.
Yeah.
Literally, we run the show.
Back off, Boogaloo. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Ringo Starr, man. There you go. So what's the latest? What's in the news? Anything good?
Never. Come on. What a question is that?
I mean, that is true. I literally had to post this morning before I went on my walk that I got to be honest, I'm supposed to hate Biden and I'm supposed to hate Trump. I don't hate anybody. I wouldn't waste my energy. I don't like some people, but I would never get as far as hatred is concerned, because why would I want to give up all that energy? I don't care, right?
Right. I'd rather just enjoy my life and pretend that other person doesn't exist unless it has some sort of effect directly on me. But yeah, I'm not wasting my time yelling and crying about Trump or Biden.
I like to pretend they both don't exist.
Exactly. I mean, what the hell's the difference? It's, one person doesn't have, they try to say, why every person's vote counts. No, it does not. That's absolutely not. You know what I still love about the fact that, the left started up, the right started up talking about, how the election was rigged and all the rest of it and blah, blah, blah. And they said, oh, that's insane. That's ridiculous. Why did you even bring that up? And then you go back about a year, 9 months to a year, and it was the Democrats saying, we're worried about this election. This could be rigged so easily. It's unbelievable. They were both talking about it.
Yes.
It's just ridiculous.
The election is probably always rigged to some degree. It just depends on which side rigged it the best.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And then the other person's going to complain.
I think that's exactly right. That is anything on the up and up? That's what I'd like to know. Anything at all, up and up?
Probably not. And it would also be refreshing to hear a politician go, you know what? Maybe we did make some mistakes along the way. We're going to come back next year with a better game plan to try and win.
No question about it. But one thing nice about being on Facebook is I talked about the fact that I wouldn't waste my time and energy hating anyone. If I don't like you, I'll just stay away from you. If I'm around you all the time, do I have to hate you? No. I just go, hey, good. You do what you do, I'll do what I do, and I'll give a rat's ass what you think.
Hasn't stopped you from hating us, that's for sure.
Yeah, I hate your guts. There's no question about it. This is a given. But no, I just, why do you want to live your life? Honest to God, these people it's all over the place. It's not just one side. What I'm trying to do, and we talk about it a few times a week, but what reason is we are going to have to figure out sooner or later, this is not human or humane. What we're going through right now is disgusting selfishness and greed. That's all. It's got nothing to do with the vote. It has to do with money. That's the whole thing is about money.
You think that's why you enjoy going on those walks as much as you do now?
Yes.
Because it's like for that, the 8 miles that you say you go on, it's like those 8 miles, nothing else is happening. It's just you walking, feeling good, feeling free, nothing's bothering you. I was thinking about that. Is that probably a big factor in it?
There's no question about that. Yeah, I like to go for the walks. You get out there, you get some nice weather. If the weather's not great, that's not great either. But in general, you get out there, the weather's nice enough. You walk along. Some people say hello. The ones that I love are the ones that stare at you, and then you go, hello, and then they look away. They will not say hello to you. Well, then don't stare at me. How about that? If you don't want to say hello, don't stare at me.
Pretty good rule. We've been making eye contact for the last 20 yards as I've been walking past you.
Yeah, yep. That's exactly right. It's like, settle down, everyone. But I literally said, I was talking to our listeners this morning on Facebook, and I said, I don't hate anyone. There are people I don't like, but I would, and as far as love is concerned, I try to focus love on my family the most, and then it goes from there. I just... Why don't you focus on the good things in life? Yeah, if they're really bad and we're all in together, then we can repair those things. But if you're using against one another, it's never going to work. It's just not going to work, right?
Right. Yeah, I have enough to stress about in my life. I don't need to add hating somebody else to the list.
Yes.
No, that's exactly it, though. I don't need, look, if you're a pain in the ass or whatever, I just get the hell away from me. Go bother somebody else.
Yeah.
It all works out in the end, and I don't know. Just everybody. I wish. Yeah, there's a lot to be upset about, but you don't have to be like hatefully angry. Well, you don't do that to yourself. It makes no sense. You can't do anything about it anyway. You maybe think you can, but you can't. Either can I.
No.
Right? So
Right.
relax. I've lived through a lot of really bad presidents. I will tell you that. There have been some really hideous presidents who've done some really hideous things, and I lived through it somehow, and I have a great family and friends, so I don't care. You do what you do. But I just... They had that deal. The woman. Have you seen the woman who's running NPR now?
No.
She looks like a supermodel, for Christ's sake. She's like stunningly beautiful.
Well, let me do a little research.
Right.
Oh yeah, all of a sudden out of the blue. But man, is she left? Oh my God, is she far left? I still don't understand with public money how they're allowed to hire only one type of person. If it's public money, shouldn't you be even keel with the whole thing? It would make sense to me, right?
Yeah, and who is?
What's the position?
Is she the president and CEO?
I think he's CEO. Yeah, president, CEO. I can't remember her name.
Is it Catherine Maher?
Is she very blonde?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Really pretty?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her then. But she was talking on there this morning. Of course, she was lying out of her ass the whole time. She was like, no, it's very even keel. You've got 87 Democrats and 0 Republicans, and it's publicly funded. How do you live with yourself? What?
The fact that it's 87 to 0?
Yeah. And then she tries to say, no, it's very even keel. No, it's not. Look, my family in general, the family I grew up in, was Democratic. My mother was a big-time Democrat. This is before all the crazy bullshit started. I grew up around Democrats. I love Democrats. I love Republicans. I do not like extremists on either side, right?
Right.
So don't hire 87 Democrats and 0 Republicans. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, and as like somebody who's had to interview people for jobs and hire people, it's really hard to not accidentally hire somebody from like whatever, if you're trying to look for a specific demographic or a side of an argument, like if you would go 87 to 0, it's 100% intentional. Like, you're telling me not one person from the other side applied for this position
was like more qualified than the other, like 86 of them. Yeah.
And the amazing thing is the guy who brought it up, who also, by the way, is a Democrat and leans left, got fired for bringing it up. They fired him. How unjust is this world now? You bring up something, and I do agree with him. I don't watch NPR. I don't listen to NPR. Except, I have friends that work there, so I listen to them. But I don't have a dog in the NPR fight. I'm just telling you, it's not fair. You should be absolutely balanced. And as a matter of fact, you should have some Democrats, some Republicans, and about 4 or 5 nut jobs who don't like anybody, just so they can get their opinion in there, right?
The more nut jobs, the better.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's absolutely right. So, look, I got nothing against Democrats nor Republicans. Why you people cannot get along with the other side? Maybe it's you that are the problem. I mean, look, if I can get along with both Mike Lindell and Mike Gelfand, I can get along with anybody because they couldn't be further apart. So why is it that we can get along with people like that? Because I like the person. I don't give a rat's ass about your politics. You're both full of shit, first of all. So, anybody gets too extreme, you're nuts. Just calm down, right?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
So, I mean, you take a poll on this show, there's probably a pretty even divide, I would guess, pretty much, and it wasn't intentional. It's just, you hire the right person for the right job, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand the whole situation, and I just love the guy still. That I had to work with him for a few months, and it just was not working. I could tell the guy hated my goddamn guts, but why they hired him to work with me, I'll never understand. And then the first thing he does is get on stage and take a shot at me about being a friend of Mike Lindell's. It's like, listen, pint size, why didn't you say that to my face? And then we'd have a discussion. Not like I'm going to punch you in the head. It's just if it troubles you, ask me about it, right?
Yeah, and I look at it too, whether it's Mike Lindell or any other CEO of a big company that has political views. Like I remember Bang energy drinks. I love Bang energy drinks. And I was drinking one and somebody goes, that guy, the CEO of that company is a Trump supporter. Like, how could you drink that? I'm like, it keeps me awake when I need to stay up late because I'm working. Like, I don't care who he votes for or anything. Like, and you look into any company, you're going to find something a little unsavory that the CEO did once upon a time.
No doubt about it.
But I'll tell you what, he makes a damn tasty beverage.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't understand. And please tell me if I'm wrong. Trump and Biden are pretty much the same person going at it from different angles.
Slightly different hair, but yeah.
Yeah, the hair's a little different, but that's about it. I mean, they're both, I've met Donald Trump. He used to be on the KQ Morning Show all the time, and then, whatever. I've never talked to Biden because I've never been invited to. But I just don't see a big difference. They both go way over the top. They both are money-grubbing sons of bitches. There's no question about that. So calm down. Relax. Enjoy your life, right?
Yeah, and a lot of it's an act, too. Like, I remember Finesse Mitchell saw, I know we got to go to break, but he was like, oh, I knew Donald Trump during his apprentice days. And yeah, he was outrageous. He's like, but the guy that I see running for president, he's like, that's not the person that I met back
I would agree with that. I actually had lunch with Donald Trump when he was the president of the United States, and he's not like that at all in person. Not at all. He's a very kind, very caring guy. Hey, how you doing? How's the family, Tom? He knew Catherine, Andy, Alex. He knew all their names. Why don't they just, do they think it makes them look weak if they present that side of themselves? Because I think it makes them look strong, actually.
I think they definitely think that it makes them look weak.
Yeah, no way. It makes you look strong. You support your friends and family. That's great. All right, the show's over. We talked a little too long in the first segment. But look, perfect example. I hate Judd, but I work with him, Yeah,
I was just telling him that yesterday. I saw him at the office. I was like, Tom hates you, right? Nobody else. It's just you.
You know how great. How could anyone hate Judd? Seriously, it'd be pretty impossible for anyone to hate him. Me, I understand. There's no question about that. But you don't have to agree with me, you pain in the ass. First jumps right on the. Yes, you're absolutely right. You are. Thanks a lot. Okay, we're taking a break here, and one of us might never be coming back. That's all I have to say. Hi, Tom Barnard for Livia Weight Control Centers. Now's the time to get a jump on summer, and I do mean getting a jump on summer by getting in good shape, things like that. You could lose up to 20 pounds or more in just your first 8 weeks. So look at that. You're in the middle of June. You could lose 20 pounds by the middle of June. That's very good, man. That's the Livia way. When you join Livia, you'll receive a personalized and doctor-recommended program tailored to your unique needs, goals, and lifestyle. Livia's amazing team of registered dietitians and nutritionists will guide you every step of the way, too. They're very, very helpful to me. Like I said, I talked to Beth, I talked to Carol, I talked to everybody over there. We had a wonderful guest last week talking about it. Here's the deal. I went for my walk this morning. Everything's going really, really well. Down in the mid 250s now, on my way into the 240s. Just keep moving forward. So far, I've lost, I think, 11.5 pounds, something like that, which is magnificent. So I'm telling you, you need to join Livia today. Get your first 8 weeks free. Yes, I said the first 8 weeks are free. Visit Livia.com. That's LIVEA.com, or call 855-GO-LIVIA. Livia is now offering GLP-1 medications, too. Quiet the food noise and see accelerated results by summer. Visit Livia.com or call 855-GO-LIVIA. Start your weight loss journey right now and get a jump on summer because you'll love it. The Livia way.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert, of course. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert. Well, I hope you expect your auto mechanic to be an expert because he's fixing your car, You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert. He's a great guy, does a great job. You will benefit, I guarantee it. He should be your expert, too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market, the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Do not put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You got nothing to lose. And you'll have an expert. I said an expert like Josh. That's all I'm saying. You'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk, of course. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold's do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Ixnay on the ace ball bay. That's all I have to say.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Holy Hannah. So let's talk pickleball. Catherine's out playing pickleball right now. There's a sport.
That's huge now.
Oh, God.
Pickleball's taken off. Who started? Where did it start?
I don't know. I mean, you're right, though. It is huge. Man. They're building pickleball stadiums.
In Washington, it was like stockbrokers would do that in their spare time.
In Washington State or Washington,
yes,
DC?
yes, the state, like
Washington
around
State, okay.
Washington, like Oregon State.
So they had nothing to do?
Yeah, I mean, they just came up with this. Like, hey, let's try a new like. There's enough sports out there that it always amazes me when new sports get invented. When it's like there's so many sports. I'm not criticizing it. I'm just saying it's an interesting variation.
Yeah. It's been around since 1965, according to usapickleball.org, credited to a congressman, Joel Pritchard from Washington State, and Bill Bell.
60 years it's been around. Bill Bell. Yeah. Thanks, Mom and Dad. My last name is Bell, so name me Bill Bell. Thanks. Really appreciate it. I wish my name were Tom Timothy Thomas. What do you think?
Oh, I like it.
Yeah,
well, no, you'd be... What would be the equivalent for you, Bernie?
Oh, Bernie. Yeah, absolutely.
Bernie Barnard? Yeah, it's got a ring to it, actually.
Believe me, all the way from 7th through the 10th grade, I was Bernie. Barney, Bernie, one of them. There's no question. And Barnyard, of course, came up constantly. Boy, how'd you think of that one? Calling me Barnyard. Yeah. I've never heard that before.
I got Jughead.
Jughead.
From the
get
Archies.
One of those hats. You should get a Jughead hat. That'd be great.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea now.
I love that hat. It's a great hat. All right, so we can't talk about sports because Minnesota sucks at all sports, but moving forward, what else do you want to talk about?
Pickleball. 1965. Who would have thunk it? So it must have been a pandemic thing, huh? Right?
In 65?
No, I'm saying like I had never heard of it until the pandemic.
Maybe.
So it must have been people were bored and you can get outside and do it. And I think you could easily use a tennis court, right? Like it doesn't have to be a pickleball court.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it must be a pandemic. Like, hey, let's this sounds like it might be fun and we can't do anything else. Let's go play this sport.
Catherine's playing right now. As a matter of fact, that's where she is right now, playing pickleball.
Nice.
They got indoor, they got outdoor, they got all of it, man. They got everything for pickleball now. It's amazing. A guy named Tim Laurent in the state of Minnesota is really, I don't know if he's the lead guy, but he's definitely one of the lead guys. Tim's a great guy. We should have him on the show, actually. He's a good guy.
Find out more.
Pickleball, absolutely. So what else?
Oh, God. Let's see here. Can't talk about the baseball team like you just said. No reason to talk about the hockey team. The basketball team is in the playoffs, but doesn't play until Saturday and has been off all week.
Right.
The NFL draft is 1 week from tonight. You know what? The Vikings could trade up. They could take a quarterback. That's the most excitement.
Who should they take if that's the case?
Well, I think there's a few choices. I think if they can trade up into the top 5, which would take a lot, but that you could do it, it would probably be Drake May, the North Carolina, J.J. McCarthy, the Michigan quarterback. Jaden Daniels is expected to go to the Washington Commanders 2nd overall, so he probably will not be available.
Mm-hmm.
So it probably comes down to McCarthy or May. If they stay at 11, which is where they are right now, And they also have the 23rd pick in the first round. And they don't trade either of those. There is a chance they would take Michael Penix, who started his collegiate career at Indiana and then finished at Washington. Now, unfortunately, he's had injury problems. He's had knee problems. And with the Vikings' luck, you know what's going to happen. So,
goodbye.
Yeah, we're hanging up the phone right now. Is that what you're telling me?
Exactly. No damaged goods. We've had enough damage. Oh, he's been hurt before. Yeah, well, he's hurt again. What a shock.
Well, poor Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
One of the most freakish injuries I've ever covered is that guy's knee basically burst on a practice field with zero contact.
Isn't that amazing? And by the way, one of the nicest men you'd ever want to meet. Teddy Bridgewater, just a great guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, everybody always has great things to say. I mean, that was like players were like saying they were, crying, throwing up. Like it was amazing that he was even able to walk again, let alone play.
Judd just quit his job. He decided I don't want to be on this show anymore. I'm leaving right now because you like Teddy Bridgewater.
I think he left to play pickleball.
Maybe he did. You're right. He left to play pickleball. I don't know. So who knows what happened? I think somebody snuck into his house and is robbing him right now, and we don't know it.
He might be having internet problems. I see him trying to join back in here. So as soon as he's back,
yeah, perfect. Say, are either one of you sports gamblers at all?
No,
Tom. Have you seen Tom? There's a story about a player in the NBA that bet $80,000 essentially on himself to have a bad game, and then went out and had a bad game. And so he's now banned from the NBA for life. And it is the next ring of sports betting in sports. I wonder if he's back.
The funny thing about that though, Tevin, is he also was running like a Discord server where he was like, people would pay him and he'd be like, hey, take me for under 5.5 free throws made today. And so people would bet on that. And then they would pay him part of like this, their winning.
God.
So it was terrible. One of the biggest things was somebody did like an 80-leg parlay to make like $1 million, and it consist of a lot of this one player. What is his name?
Jontay Porter.
Jontay Porter. Yeah, and everybody was like, "Yeah, this is a big red flag. Why are people betting on this guy?"
Yeah, he plays like 5 minutes a game.
Judd's back for at least a couple of minutes.
I have no idea what took place there.
No, nobody does. It's just you disappeared. Speculation.
Yeah, I know you were talking and it started to like pixelate and sound weird, and the next thing I know, technology bit me in the ass.
What?
That's exactly what I got. That's exactly what it sounded like. I'm like, what's going on here?
Do you know that some people get pissed off because some people cannot do that? Can't do this. They can't do that, which I don't know why they can't, but they can't. Because they just go like this. They go like, oh. You can't just go, You got to do some work, right?
Well, I think that's like, what's the thing? Curling your tongue or something? Like, I think everybody can't yet. Oh, see, you've got all of this. See, that's not completely common.
Because I never shut up. Maybe that's what it is. It gets a lot of work.
I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. I think you're born with the ability or you're not.
Yeah, maybe. You might be right about that. There are things that people can do. It's just amazing that hardly anyone can do, but they can do them because, like you said, we're born that way.
Yeah, I don't think I can do the I can't do the curl of the tongue like that. Like, that's pretty impressive.
Can you guys do it?
Oh yeah, I can do that. The one that always freaked me out was the people that can tie a knot in a cherry stem.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right, with their tongue.
Yeah, with their I should. Yeah, yes. That's a great qualifier there. With your tongue. Yeah.
I've seen it happen. I don't know how to. God, it's unbelievable.
Not
absolutely
me.
Amazing.
Not me. See, I lack these talents.
I don't know if that's a talent. It's an ability, but I don't know if it's a talent.
Tying something with your tongue might be a talent.
Yeah, you might be right. You're probably right about that.
Judd, do you have any obscure things that you're good at that nobody else is?
Covering sports teams that never ever win.
You're really good at that.
Yep. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I cover you, and you are not going to do well.
Now, do you think that the most difficult thing in your life, the talent that you have, like the biggest contributor to society is controlling Phil. Is that the best? Is that your biggest ability?
If it is, I have failed miserably on many occasions.
And continue to fail on a daily basis.
There is a dereliction of duty if that's considered my talent.
No doubt about it. But yeah, there are things that people can do that, like Devin said, tying a cherry stem in a knot with your tongue. I don't even know where you would even start doing that.
I don't know. Like that to me seems. First of all, here's my first question is this: who thought of trying to do that?
True.
Like, of all the things that have never crossed my mind, that's going to be one of them.
Now, Tevin, you said you can't do it?
Oh, no. No, I've tried like once or twice and not even close.
Do you think guys who can do that stand by the women's locker room door?
Just pulling cherry stems out of their mouth? Like,
I can do with my tongue. Look at this. Okay.
I think that might be deemed as being incredibly creepy and might not help your cause like you think it would help your cause. But that's just me.
I would have to agree that it would be incredibly creepy. Look what I'm taking out of my mouth. Yes, shut up. Go away.
Like Tevin says, you got like a big stack of them.
Yep.
Like, hey, no, I'll do it again. I'll do it again.
After like the first woman doesn't respond, you're like, maybe you didn't see what I just did, and puts another cherry stem in his mouth.
Sure. Absolutely. I love the fact how we're trying to avoid like a son of a bitch talking about sports.
Well, yeah, I mean, you ixnayed the baseball team, and I don't disagree with you. And it's the same. It would be we could just replay the same segments from Tuesday and Wednesday if we talk about the baseball team that shall not be mentioned.
Now, do they have today off? I think is it today on off day?
Yeah, and then they got the Tigers at home. I'm sure the weekend. I'm sure Target Field will be absolutely packed for the Detroit Tigers on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Don't you think?
I was going to say something. I'll say it anyway. Well, they are supposed to be better than Detroit anyway, aren't they? They're supposed to be. I'm not saying they are.
Yeah, they were supposed to be, but Detroit's actually played pretty well, and it hasn't worked out as. But I think fans were already disgruntled. I don't think they were already disgruntled because the team basically bragged about that they were going to slash payroll.
Yeah,
and fans were already predisposed to being pissed off. Not to mention the fact that they assured fans that they could stream the games, and then they just went back to Bally's, which also is a problem. And then they doubled down by what's the record now? They've won what 6 and 11,
6 and 11, something like that. 6 and
12. Yeah. So I think fans were already disgruntled, and now I'm not even sure they're pissed. I think they're just checking out.
Yeah.
Or going to check out. So I think it's going to be a relatively, unless the weather is gorgeous, I think Target Field might not be very full this month.
I'm going to be honest with you. The only reason, if you're running the team, you would say something like that. Look what I did, Grandpa. You like did it to impress your grandpa and your father.
I think that's interesting. I think he was trying to be transparent because he thought it was a good idea. But there's some things that, I mean, the poll ads have never really handled the media stuff very well.
No, they have not.
When they talk, it tends to be and Jim, Jim didn't talk basically.
No, he did not.
And when he did, he didn't handle it well. And Carl tried to stay out as well. So it never really goes well when they decide to make statements.
It's really sad because I got along with Bob Polad really well. I liked Bob Polad.
Yeah.
Doesn't really have anything to do with the baseball team, does he?
I
didn't think so, but I used to get along with him really well. Then apparently he tuned in one day to the Q, and I was going after his father, so I haven't talked to Bob much lately.
I love your stories. I love your stories of these occasional friends who disappeared when they turned on the Q.
Oh yeah, they just all of a sudden they're not around anymore.
Yeah,
but Bob was a very nice guy. He's a really nice person. But I understand, I'm pissed off. Although if you talk badly about my father, I wouldn't give a rat's ass. So you can say whatever you want about him. I don't care.
Well, if you own a sports team, you're gonna if you can't handle that, get out. This is not like you were ripping Carl for Coca-Cola, or banking. This is a sports team,
Well, and the problem I got, it's the team that I love. Look, I love other sports, but I love my Minnesota Twins more than any other sports team. I love baseball. I love the Twins. That's why I get so pissed off at them.
Was Bob the one who was in the film production or is in the film production business, or is that another Polad?
I think it's a different Polad.
Who did the Beach Boys film, the Brian Wilson one, which was fantastic.
Was that Jim Polad? Does that sound
No,
right?
Jim's the one that ran the Twins.
Oh, he's the one who ran the Twins. So it's
and
Bob.
Joe is his nephew, and he now runs the Twins.
Right.
But I was trying to remember if it was Bob. Because Bob is. I think Bob has swooped in at times to have opinions when things are going off the rails or like payroll stuff. Yeah. But he definitely is one of the Polads who wanted no part of like the baseball operation thing.
I understand, but they did win 2 World Series, so you got to give him the tip of the cap for that one.
The old man, as reviled as he might have been.
Well, you know, you're hanging out with Hubert Humphrey and Kid Can, you're going to get criticized.
How about that? All you geniuses out there.
Bernard,
all you geniuses. That Kid Can did a lot of good, okay?
Let me just tell you something. It's unbelievable. Sydney, God, I used to get the calls from Sid because Sid and I used to have lunch once or twice a week at the Lincoln Dell. Sid and I got along really well, except if I criticized a team, then Sid wouldn't talk to me for like a week.
Yeah.
Don't even call me. I'm not talking to you. It's like, settle down, Sydney. I miss Sydney, even though he's 100. I miss him.
Oh, and the Sid who was there when I started at the paper in 89-ish, 90, man, he was a ball. I mean, he was in his 70s, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that dude was, he had the energy at that point of a guy who was probably 30.
I would agree with you. You know, did they ever write a book about Sid? I assume somebody did.
Well, Royce wrote the book that he authored with Sid.
Oh, that's right. They wrote a book together, but
for which I transcribed the tapes.
Oh, did you really?
I was young, and Royce paid me to transcribe the tapes. I've always said that book is one of the greatest works of fiction masquerading as reality in history because it was all Sid. It was all Sid's memory of things. And it wasn't that Sid couldn't remember. It's that Sid wasn't exactly going to tell all the tales that Sid did not want told, or he at least did a very good job of spinning them into how he remembered them, which was very favorable to one guy. And that would be Sid.
See, I have proof there is a God because I witnessed something that's very few people ever witnessed from Sid Hartman. And I've told this story before many times, but it's such a great story. I'll continue to tell it the rest of my life. Sitting at the ice cream parlor with Sid, we're both having a cone. He looked away because we were talking about growing up in North Minneapolis. He and I went through a lot of the same things.
Sure.
You know, he used to have to go carry his father home because his father would get all lit up, and so he'd have to go get him and carry him home. And that's tough for a Jewish kid, by the way.
Sure.
To be carrying home your drunken father is very, very bad. But I will never forget, I'm talking to Sid and he turned away, and when he turned back, he was crying, and he said, I wish my mama had never died. I'm like, okay, you're one of my favorite people of all time, Sid.
Really?
It was so sweet. It was amazing. I am so lucky that I got to witness what Sid was really all about. He adored his mother. It was wonderful.
Yeah, I remember the stories when I transcribed those tapes about his dad.
Yeah.
And it sounded, I mean, there's no question that both of you guys saw things that kids shouldn't have to see or go through.
No question about it. What are you going to do? And I mean, like I said, you get alcohol involved in Judaism, they don't like that too much. That's not one of their favorite things.
Yeah, and Sid rarely drank because of that, right?
Oh, God, hardly. I don't think he ever did. You know, he ate salad dressing, which he thought was soup. You know, he did things like that, but
Yep, that's one of the great. Or there was the great Sid line when he was in Miami. I don't know with whom at one point, and he's looking out at the ocean, and he makes the comment, if that ever dries up, this place is going out of business.
Don't you love that?
Oh, he had some great the Sidisms, you know that were.
Oh God, yes.
Were absolutely fantastic. Oh yeah, he was the definition of a character.
Well, I'll never forget. I think we've already played it, but Martina Bravo. God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it when he gets
Today's sports hero.
Today's sports hero, Martina Bravo. Don't run that. Let me do it again.
Yeah. Well, and then doesn't he at one point say erase that bleep because I know you guys will save it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And of course, they assured him that they would, and then they kept it.
And they saved it anyway.
Oh, of course they did.
I hope Minnesotans understand the legendary people they have had like Sid Hartman. I mean, there's no other Sid Hartman anywhere else in the world. We got him to ourselves, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and you know, across the board, the old school newspaper columnists and newspaper people were such great characters. I mean, they were very different, but you know what? In New York back in the day, you got Breslin.
Yeah.
And Pete Thamel, and you know, here you had a guy like Sid, you had a guy like Jim Klobuchar, who was a complete character.
Yep.
Royko in Chicago. Yeah, you're right, but that was, man, back the newspaper people of yesterday were some real characters, and they were so important in those towns. Like, that's the thing too, is now it's changed. So, and anyway, all right, sir.
All right, Palomino, we will talk to you on Tuesday.
All right, sounds good. Talk to you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. Let's talk a little K&L surplus here, shall we? K&L Surplus and Ammo in Lina Lakes is my choice for firearms and ammunition. I am a gun owner. Jim, the owner, is one of the most knowledgeable people in the business, and I'm not making that up. Jim knows a lot about firearms. Matter of fact, probably everything. It's great at getting you the right firearm for your needs. K&L Surplus and Ammo also works with local groups on raffles, auction fundraisers. If your group has a fundraiser coming up, make sure to call Jim at K&L. Their number, 763-757-2614. He can put together a great package for your event, help you raise more money, and I'm telling you, I'm not making it up. Jim, the owner of K&L Surplus, is the best I've ever seen. K&L Surplus and Ammo is on Lake Drive in Lina Lakes and open Tuesday through Saturday. You can reach them by phone at 763-757-2614, or you can also visit them online at www.klgunstore.com.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings, or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. That is very nice of you. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever when you use promo code TOM, and you get free shipping on your entire order. Get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses, mattress toppers, 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything's on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually do absorb, which is a nice thing for a bath towel to do. They have dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146 or go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app, at TomBarnardShow.com, or wherever you get your podcasts.
So now I hate this. Now I feel sad that Sid's not alive anymore. Pisses me off. Well, Sid and my brother died within like 48 hours of one another. My brother Troy died, and a couple days later, Sid died. That was a tough week, man.
Yeah, that's definitely not a tough week.
That is a tough week. Floyd, I still call him, because we had Terry, Tom, Todd, Tony were the first four boys. So when then Troy was born, because of Troy Donahue, I guess, was an actor at the time. My mother called him Troy. And then her father called and said, by the way, my grandfather on her side did this deal. He had the lateral S deal doing his deal. He goes, so Toots, because he couldn't say Theophilus, so he called her Toots, which everybody then called her Toots. But the greatest thing about that is, so what's the new kid's name? She goes, his name is Troy. And he goes, Floyd? Why the hell did you name him Floyd? It's like, okay, there, Emil. Emil Dane was his name. What a piece of work that man was. There's no question about it. But you guys have anybody in your family, like a father, grandfather, uncle, somebody who's just a nut job?
Ooh, a nut? I don't think so. No, not. I mean, I've got some relatives that are a little out there, but not anybody that were like, oh man, he showed up to the reunion. Locked the door.
You're not happy about that?
No.
No, we had some interesting characters. I had some great people, don't get me wrong. I had great people in my family. My mother's brother, Ted, and Augie got murdered, but he was a great guy. And then on the other side, my Uncle Eldon was just a terrific guy. Really, really nice man. My Aunt Mary Ann, who just cacked a little while ago, I adored that woman too. So I had some good relatives. I had some nut job relatives and some good relatives. It was a nice blend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all you can ask for.
Exactly. We'll take a very quick break. Be right back. Kim Fields will join us right after this, I think.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President and Chief Lending Officer at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Michael Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a locally owned and operated community bank, we work with many multi-generational businesses.
Take personal care dentistry of Roseville, for example. Dr. Walter Hunt, also known as Painless to me, has been a longtime customer of the bank since we opened the bank in 1998.
When his son Kyle was ready to join the practice, they wanted to expand quickly.
With their additional space and equipment, they now are able to see more patients each day while providing the same level of care and service.
Okay, guys, I'll take it from here. If you run a family business or any kind of business for that matter, you should be banking with Brad and Mike over at North American Banking Company. Every time I deal with them or their team, I know I'm working with experienced professional bankers. So why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hi guys, it's Chris Eggert from Channel 5 Morning News, along with my friends Megan Newquist and Ken Barlow. In the morning, we pride ourselves on sharing people's stories. I've been lucky enough to be part of this 5 Eyewitness News morning team for more than a decade now. This is where I've raised my kids and working alongside my friends for all these years. We're like a family too.
We are family, Chris. Working with you and Ken and Hannah, it is such an honor to help folks start their day every morning on Channel 5. We get to catch people up on the news that's happening, and Hannah is here to keep an eye on the traffic around town.
And when it comes to weather, I know people rely on me to plan their day and get their family out the door. Over the last 10 years, there are so many memories and so many laughs. I just love sharing the forecast alongside you guys.
I feel the same way, Ken. To all you who start your day with us here on Channel 5, we think of you as family too. Thanks for turning on 5 Eyewitness News in the mornings.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. So what's the latest?
Not too much. Have not received a call quite yet, so we may
okay.
Just be holding out there. Otherwise, I know we do have a pretty big name coming up top of the hour, which is fantastic.
No, forget it. If she doesn't show up, I'm canceling on everybody else.
We're shutting her down.
Yeah, we're going to have to get a handle on this because I don't know what the hell the deal is. You can't just, they're going to have to, I guess from now on, unless they say they're absolutely going to be on, I just don't want to book them. It just doesn't work. If she comes on, that's great because I like her a lot. Kim Fields is a very, very nice person. Semi-attractive, too, I'd say.
Yeah, she's definitely
a looker.
Yeah, not lonely unless it's self-inflicted. Yeah.
It's self-inflicted loneliness. No, she is good though. Absolutely. We're talking about Kim Fields. It might be on, might not. I don't know. I would say, looking at the clock,
Probably not.
Probably not, because she's already 3 minutes late.
Yeah.
So yeah, from now on, if they don't call and say they're going to be on, definitely we just won't book them anymore.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's just the way life is. You what?
Oh, I said it works for me. And Tom, there was a story in the news that it happened here in Minnesota, but then it also happened in Florida, where the new game kids are playing, they take look-alike long-range guns, so like a Nerf gun type of thing, and they're calling it Senior Assassin. And so they'll like crawl through neighborhoods to their friend's house, and their goal is to like shoot them with a Nerf gun as they like come out their door or whatever, like going to like quote unquote assassinate them. And the police have now been called like multiple times across the country, and they're showing up because people are like, hey, I see, somebody's wearing camo crawling through the bushes with what looks like a gun. And so police are showing up.
Right.
It doesn't look like anybody has been like shot or hurt. They're able to kind of realize what's going on. But yeah, they've had to issue warnings to kids like, hey, this probably isn't the best game to be playing out in public.
What? And you said they're doing it in Minnesota and where else? Everywhere?
Yeah. So it was it was in Brooklyn Park on Tuesday, about 7 o'clock in the morning. Somebody was dressed in camouflage, carrying a long gun, walking through yards in Noble Circle North, somewhere in Brooklyn Park.
Oh, sure. I know what that is. Yep.
And so the police responded, detained him, and they were like, okay, yep, there's just this kid playing this game. And then I saw another article that said it happened in Florida somewhere as well.
So what, the whole point is just to scare people, or what's the point of doing this?
So it sounds like essentially it's almost like tag, except you're using a Nerf gun and it's like your group of friends. So it'd be like I sneak outside of AJ's house and he's getting ready for work, and I tag you're at, shoot him with a Nerf gun, and now I go run and hide.
And I can maybe shed a little more because this was a thing when I was in high school. They
okay.
Nerf wars. And
yeah.
Terrible idea in hindsight. I want to say that first and foremost. But I remember, it was like, you'd have your like team of 3 or whatever. And so you have to go and eliminate another team, and then if you did, you get a picture with them, and then they get taken out. But it was like you had to buy in. So like March Madness, you get the pool at the end. Same thing for this. You're the last team standing. You take the winnings. But I remember on University Avenue, there was like this Old Country buffet.
Oh yeah, sure.
Some team was there eating, and I remember another team went and went into the restaurant and like. Boom. And I think cops were called. They were like, "You morons! What are we doing here?" And they got their Nerf guns taken away, and it was a huge ordeal. But I know it's still prevalent in a lot of high schools because my girlfriend's younger sister, who's a senior, her friends are, I think, doing it right now.
Okay, but these guns they carry look pretty much like a real gun, don't they?
I think it depends.
Yeah, some of them do, and I mean from a distance, and especially if let's say a kid spray paints his black or something like that.
Right.
I'm sure from a distance you can easily get confused.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the whole situation. Why you would want, and they're wearing camouflage, you said.
Yeah, this specific kid was wearing camouflage. He was going above and beyond to claim victory.
Don't really see that that's a good idea. Well, first of all, you said it's in Brooklyn Park.
Correct.
I used to live in Brooklyn Park. You can find a gun in Brooklyn Park. I will just tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's people that would potentially intervene themselves, or when the police show up, they're showing up with real guns.
Exactly. Yeah, wandering around in camouflage carrying what even looks like a gun is not a good idea, because Uncle Bill's had a few beers. They're going to shoot you right in the head.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell are you thinking?
Yeah, and they are giving them citations.
Good.
So there are at least some sort of consequence. So it sounds like they're trying to kind of get ahead of this, because you could easily see how this could go south very, very quickly.
Oh, God, yeah.
No question about it. I'm telling you, man, there are people out there see you in camouflage carrying what even looks like a gun. You're lucky don't hand you your ass. Don't do that. That's not a good idea. Hi, Judy. Jude just came in.
Yeah.
I heard him whining back there. So, well, again, Mom's out playing pickleball, so he's all pissed off about that.
You got moved up in the rankings. You're now top dog.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly right. Yeah, don't. Let's close with this. Don't do that. Don't put on camouflage and wander through a neighborhood, especially hiding behind trees and in bushes, which makes it even worse, because that's what they do, right? They hide out until they actually get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jesus, whatever. Just make better choices. Is that a good way to go after it?
Oh, yeah. That's start there, and yeah, we can solve the rest of the world's problems later.
Unbelievable. Do you know that it's National High Five Day?
Is it?
Why would there be a National High Five Day? Will you explain that to me?
Because
somebody's coming in.
We need a day.
Here it comes.
We need a day where you just celebrate something, because that makes no sense as why we would need a National High Five Day, but I guess I'm on board.
I know that was a big deal for a while. It's like, high five. That was a big deal back in, I don't know, the 60s or 70s or something. I remember that. High five, man. Yeah, calm down. I don't even want to shake your hand.
That was a terrible high five.
It was. I was trying to get it framed in the camera and it didn't work. But.
Well, yeah, because you couldn't even see your hand at all, AJ.
Yeah, well, I thought we were going to frame it differently, and I think I hit like his wrist and he hit my finger. It was bad. It was bad.
I guess you can't live in Brooklyn Park then, can you?
No, I'll go get my camouflage jacket on and I'll start crawling through bushes.
Yeah, let's not do that. What happened to AJ? I don't know. He was shot to death by somebody. I don't know what happened. It's unfortunate, but it is Happy National High Five Day. It's always the third Thursday in April, but should probably be in October 2nd, and here's why. No one knows for sure when the high five just kind of first happened. I have no idea the high five. I have no idea where that came from.
I can actually kind of tell you.
Is it an Army deal? That'd be my guess.
No, it's a baseball deal, actually.
Oh, okay.
You know Dusty Baker?
Sure, absolutely.
Dusty Baker. So for the longest time, they would hit a home run or whatever. They come around and they do the shake your hand. How do you do? Dusty Baker hit a home run when he was playing, I want to say, with the Dodgers.
Yep.
And he came trotting home, and his teammate Bill something, just like they just slapped hands, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, that's cool. Awesome! That's so much better than a handshake." So it was like in the 50s or 60s, Dusty Baker invented, and some people say it was a college basketball team in like the 50s that also kind of did the same thing. But Dusty Baker, the same thing with like pickleball. Only about 60 years old is the high five. So American made.
Yeah, it is American. I do remember a friend of mine's father. What are you laughing about? You think it's American made is too much?
The American made, like nothing more American than baseball and high fives.
Hey, yeah, France gave us, democracy and all that stuff. America, we give you high fives.
Forget democracy. I want the toast.
Yes.
A little French toast, baby.
Give me those waffles from Belgium.
But I had a friend, honest to God, every time I go to the house, he'd, Tommy, how you doing, man? Hey, give me 5. Up high, down low, too slow. Okay, like every time I went to his house, I got criticized for being too slow, doing the high 5, low 5, and give me 5. But what the hell? What a great guy he was. Don't you like it when your friends had really good parents? I loved that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the too slow bit, that's like every parent has terrorized a child at one point with that. It's like a rite of passage.
It is indeed. So yeah, no one knows for sure when the high five first happened, but the credit usually goes to former MLB coach Dusty Baker. There you go. He's in the story. And his old teammate, Glenn Burke. God, he was a great player, too. They were playing for the Dodgers 47 years ago in 1977 when they smacked hands during the last game of the season on October 2nd. They got a photo of it, as a matter of fact. You can look at it if you want to, but why would you want to look at a photo of a high five? Because they don't do anything. They're just going like this.
Yeah.
On camera.
Is it the black and white one where they're like not even, their hands aren't even touching yet?
Yeah, well, I think that is the one. Yes. Fans immediately thought it was very, very cool, and the Dodgers embraced it as their official way to it became their official way to celebrate. That's kind of weird, don't you think?
I like it.
I mean, that's some odd action. We're going to high five Dog the Bounty Hunter right after this break. We'll be right back. Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever. When you use promo code TOM, you get free shipping on your entire order. You get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you can get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146. Go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
In addition to having the best selection in town, K&L Surplus and Ammo also can help you sell your firearms safely and worry-free. Very, very important. You've inherited a collection of firearms from a loved one, don't know what to do with them, or if you have guns you're no longer using, call Jim at K&L Surplus and Ammo. Jim can help you sell those firearms safely and through consignment and auction. I know Jim. He's an extremely knowledgeable guy, great guy too. Will help you get top dollar, which is very important, of course. He will help you explore all the options and take the work and stress off of your shoulders. K&L Surplus and Ammo is on Lake Drive in Lina Lakes and open Tuesday through Saturday. You can also visit them online at www.klgunstore.com.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know when you get the nod, if you would.
Oh, we've got the nod.
You got the nod already. I am glad to hear it, ladies and gentlemen. The new book is called 9 Lives and Counting. It's available now. Dog the Bounty Hunter. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, brother, sir. How are you? I thought you was talking about the Lord when you was talking about take all the pressure off you. You talk about the gun store.
Well, it's both. It actually comes to both. Well, it's about time I talked to you again. I used to talk to you all the time. I did a morning show across the street for 37 years and you used to come on all the time, and I miss you. I haven't talked to you in a while, so it's great to talk to you again, pal.
Yes, sir. Yes, the same. Thank you.
Brace yourself for the untamed tale straight from the heart of the world's most legendary bounty hunter and 2-time #1 New York Times bestselling author, Dog the Bounty Hunter, also Duane Chapman, of course, also known as Duane Chapman, is revealing his most intimate stories in 9 Lives and Counting, a bounty hunter's journey to faith, hope, and redemption. You know what's great about that, honest to God, is the fact that right now I think we need this maybe more than ever. A bounty hunter's journey to faith, hope, and redemption. Everybody is so incredibly, hideously angry right now. Everybody hates everything. And do you think part of that is the fact, look, unless you believe in there's a greater good, there's something bigger than you, it's very easy to be a jerk like that, don't you think?
Well, true, and it's I like how you brought that up because one of the, there's the signs of Jesus talking about his coming was be not deceived, and look at the deception. And the other thing is, in the last days, which I don't care if you're an atheist or whatever you are, you see something's going on in the world. And the Bible says, in those days, I will pour out, not drip out, but pour out my spirit upon all tribes. Well, it says all flesh.
Yeah.
I'm 33.5% Chiricahua Apache, so I talk tribal. So that spirit, you see it, bro, it is being poured out. People that never picked up a Bible or said a blessing in their life are doing it. It is just, and then there's ones that are given over to a reprobate, it's called mind or spirit. That means they ain't never going to change. And for those, good luck. And they don't believe in hell, but they'll be there about 5 minutes and believe it. So I just am very glad that was born for such a time as this. The Christians say that. And I'm very glad to be alive in these beginning of the last days.
Well, I hope the last days don't come too soon because I'm having a good time. I love my wife and kids, so they can't come too fast, though. All right? We'll slide into it.
I know. The Bible says you never know. Even the angels don't know, and Jesus don't know. When God pulls the trigger, it's on like Donkey Kong. So I say the same thing. Man, don't come if I'm flipping that guy the bird on my chopper and he pull out front.
Well, yeah, it's
please,
the kind of situation.
Please wait till I'm praying or something.
Dog, I got to be honest with you. Time couldn't have come. The time's perfect is a better way to put it, I guess. Just this morning on Facebook, I posted about the fact that I guess I'm supposed to hate Biden and I'm supposed to hate Trump and I'm supposed to hate everybody. Dog, I don't hate anybody. I wouldn't waste my energy and time on hate. If I don't like somebody, I'm not going to go around them. But I wouldn't waste my time hating. The hatred in the world right now, dog, is over the top.
Oh yeah, but love is conquers all things.
Good.
So I'm exactly the same way. I'm not a mega Trump. I'm not a hater Biden. I'm a mega Jesus. And I like to go back to say, the Bible says that the government is on Jesus' shoulders. So I don't care who you are, what you say, how many votes you get, or how many cheating you do, or how many cheating you don't do. It's all up to God. And a lot of people don't like the way Biden's going and he's got this and that. And a lot of people don't like the tweets that Trump puts out. But, they didn't like Jesus. Look what they did to him. They convicted him as a felon, gave him the death sentence for something he did not do. Mm-hmm. So I don't get into that. I don't, a lot of felons can't vote, and I'm one of them. And I don't, I have voted and lied, but I don't, my one vote don't count. And they're like, one vote count. Yeah, baloney. So good luck to that. It did. And, I'm more into governors of the state where I live because now look at the judges. When we were young, a judge couldn't override a president.
No.
What's the deal, Bill? These punk judges, they can override presidents. You couldn't do that. And the judges, I've worked in the criminal justice system for 50 plus years. I've known there's some crooks. The Bible says the higher you go in any business, the more wickedness there is. The Marines say the higher you go up the ladder, the more of your Okole shows. But I ain't never seen nothing like this. Judges ordering presidents what to do, and come on, you wackos. So I like governors in the state I'm living. They can override everything. They can do anything they like, Florida, Texas, the southern states. They just had those wackos that killed those two mothers down there.
Right.
God, misfits. That was a 911 helicopter.
Uh-oh.
God.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Uh-oh, they're playing my song. The governors, it seems like you can go to the states you like to, what matches your personality. And that's why a lot of people are leaving them states where no bail, here's a ticket, you can go to court or not. Right. You promise right now. Laying your hand on the Bible and swearing used to be something that was damnation. Now they laying their hand on, what are they laying it on? Some kind of book and saying, it's, that, again, all scriptural, every single bit of it.
I can understand that. Dog is deeply involved in crime fighting, advocating for tougher legislation to curb crime. He's launching several media ventures, including a new TV show and podcast. And he is a New York Times bestselling author of 2 previous books. Dog operates Light Up the Darkness Ministry with his wife, Francie, whom he married in 2021. They reside in Florida. So, I mean, it seems to me, like I said, when did the TV show first start? The one way back in the day.
Well, back to Francie Light Up the Darkness. I worked for Francie.
Oh, okay.
You know, I tried it. It didn't work. Okay. I made money, spent every nickel. So I gave up. Said, here, Francie, you know, Jesus, take the wheel. Francie, take the checkbook. Yeah. I like recommend all you men to do the same thing, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do.
So,
yep.
Yeah, amen. I mean, that's, you know, they might have took a bite of the apple first, but I'm sure Adam said, no, you try it.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Well,
absolutely.
Well, he was right there with her, so he could have said, don't you dare touch it. So I contribute, boy, what a wife, I'm telling you, you know, and I asked for one like that. I went to God after Beth died and said, listen, Lord, I can't even find my car coming out of Target. You know, I need a mate. I need someone, Lord. I've been married since I was 15. You know, that's 12 children, 27 grandchildren, and 4 great-grandchildren.
I was going to say something my father was saying.
We're chasing. Say it again.
Nothing. I was going to say something that my father would have said, but you don't want to hear that.
No, I do. Go, brother.
I was going to say, do you ever put your pants on? Or
Well, they buckle them, right?
I knew I could count on you, dog.
Yeah, you know, Francie's like, here, wear this. I'm like, honey, you're not buying my clothes. She goes, okay, I'm not going with you then.
Yeah. No, I understand.
I wear all black. She goes, no, you're going to wear some colors now. I'm like, okay.
Well, I mean, you do have a look, though, dog. I'm looking at the cover of your book, 9 Lives and Counting, and, I mean, that is Dog the Bounty Hunter. That's the dog that I've known for, I don't know, 30, 35 years, whatever it's been. I love that picture.
Yes, sir.
It's the
Thank
greatest.
you very much. I don't. You know, you look at yourself, Martin Sheen used to say, don't watch yourself on TV.
Yes.
Worry about the commercials. And I was like, I don't get it. And our first started the show, we had Pampers and Metamucil and male diapers. And then we went to Pizza Hut, Porsche, Chevy. I'm like, oh, I get it, Martin. Right. So, yeah, all of us. I mean, Martin's the same way. He don't watch himself on TV.
Nope.
And the guy is a Academy Award winner. You know what I mean?
No doubt about it.
So,
Dog,
yeah, I've learned. Go, brother. Sorry.
No, it's my fault. I know you got to get going is the only thing about it. But I will tell you, dog, that I've known you for so long, been talking to you for so long. I love talking to Beth as well. She used to come on, and she used to light you up once in a while. It was phenomenal. I really miss her, man. She was great. But thank God you have Francie now. You've been married for, 3-4 years, something like that. It's wonderful.
Going on 3. Yes, sir.
Going on 3. Dog, I'm just happy for you because I know you were miserable for a while there, and I love having you back. And I'm happy for you. All right.
I'm happy, and let me tell you, we've got 10 seconds. Beth called me in the room and said, Big Daddy, God's taking me out of your life.
Yep.
I'm dying. And I'm like, no, you're not. Yes, I am. And you're called to the ministry, and don't let me down. Don't let me die in vain. Don't ruin my reputation. And I'm going to tell you right now, you say you're not getting married, you will. And here's a list of 10 people you better not marry.
There's Beth right there. That's a perfect Beth, dog. A great way to end it. Dog, come back more often. I love talking to you. I really miss you. And congratulations on making a comeback from something very, very difficult you've been through. All right?
Thank you. Call us. I'll come on anytime. Love you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dog the Bounty. I just love that guy. We had him in studio a couple of times. I probably wouldn't want to piss him off. I got to be honest with you.
Hell no. No. Even if you do and you run from him, he's going to track you down. There's no escape.
That's what he does. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I know some people go, oh, my God, he's talking about religion, blah, 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 blah. What he went through with Beth, losing his wife, was agony for me. And I wasn't that close. It's not like one of my best friends or anything. But Beth used to come on the show, and he'd start chirping about something. All of a sudden, she'd go, oh, dog, would you just shut up? Tom, I'll tell you what it's all about. It was just a great relationship that they had. So I do miss her. She was a terrific person, and calls him in the room and said, look, I'm dying. No, you're not. Yes, I am. You can't stop me from dying. That's a pretty damn good line, don't you think?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I love the fact that here's the list of 10 people you better not marry while
Isn't that great? So look, I know some people, you don't like to hear people talking about God or Jesus or whatever. But again, if you've been through hell like he's been through, you can talk about Jesus and God all you want to me, man. If that's what gets you through the day, I'm happy for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not the kind of guy that's going to push it on somebody else. He's talking about his own life, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll take it. You know, speaking of God, the God of reporting, KB2, is up next right after this.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President and Chief Lending Officer at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Michael Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a locally owned and operated community bank, we work with many multi-generational businesses.
Take personal care dentistry of Roseville, for example. Dr. Walter Hunt, also known as Painless to me, has been a longtime customer of the bank since we opened the bank in 1998.
When his son Kyle was ready to join the practice, they wanted to expand quickly.
With their additional space and equipment, they now are able to see more patients each day while providing the same level of care and service.
Okay, guys, I'll take it from here. If you run a family business or any kind of business for that matter, you should be banking with Brad and Mike over at North American Banking Company. Every time I deal with them or their team, I know I'm working with experienced professional bankers. So why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste. The new Tom Barnard Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw and Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner. You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
There's no question about it, ladies and gentlemen. Now we had Dog the Bounty Hunter. Now we have KB2 the Bounty Hunter. What's that say on your shirt?
You know what is so funny? I said, Tom is going to ask what's on my shirt today, because every time I wear this sweatshirt, you go, what's on this shirt?
What does it? It looks like it says,
It says Princess Polly. It's an Australian clothing brand.
Princess Polly is Australian.
Yes, it's from us. It's an Australian clothing brand that's here in the United States, and they kindly gave me a sweatshirt to wear.
Because of you, because yesterday I wore the lighter blue version of the shirt. Now I wore the darker blue version of the shirt, and I also have a white version of the shirt too.
I like you in blue, Tom. It's very handsome.
Well, it matches my eyes, my blue eyes. That's all I have to say. As a matter of fact, I don't have to wear my glasses because I'm not going to read anything. So, well, wait a minute. Maybe I'll put them back on because now I look tired. Anyway, but I'm not. I'm not tired at all. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Just put a ring light. Just blast a ring light, and you will look wide awake.
Yeah, that's true. I just have that light that's coming up from the desk, which makes
a little ghostly. Portable ring light.
I'll
send you a link on Amazon, the one I have. They just blast light and just like blast everything out. Tired. Well, you never know.
You look wide awake. That's all I know. There's no question about it. You're trying your best, are you? So what's happening, sister? Oh, I should read this, by the way. Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News is brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Kristyn Burtt with us from Hollywood. Well, close to Hollywood, anyway.
Coast to Hollywood in my closet.
In your closet with your Australian shirt.
And my cat.
Oh, the kitty's in. Look at that. There you go.
She sits right by my left butt cheek all the time and hangs out with me.
I got Jude laying next to me because Catherine's out playing pickleball, so he will not stay out of the studio when she's not home. He has to come in the studio. So she's playing pickleball, so he's just laying here on the floor sleeping.
Can you hear my cat purring?
No.
Nope, it's not loud enough. She's really loud, though.
Like that?
Yeah.
I like that. So what's happening, sister?
We have an office reunion of sorts.
Really?
Yes, in the form of a 6-minute AT&T commercial, which is surprisingly funny. And I recommend everyone go to YouTube to check it out. It's kind of a spoof on The Office. They obviously can't play their characters because they're owned by NBC.
Right.
But you have Rainn Wilson and Jenna Fischer's in it. You also have Creed Bratton's in it, Craig Wilson. They all play a version of their character, but they go by their actual names. Yep. And it's about Rainn Wilson trying to launch a company called Sleep with Rainn. I don't know if people know that he does a lot of those sleep stories. He's like, people try to fall asleep to me. So he's trying to sell a pillow with 2 speakers on either side built in. And Jenna Fischer's no longer the secretary. She's the social media manager. You have Craig, who's in charge of cybersecurity. It is actually very well written and funny. So if you're looking for just kind of a fun little revisit of The Office, they did this really well. Kate Flannery's in it too. She plays a version of Meredith, always the slacker. She's like, I'm just here for the Wi-Fi. And I think the brand integration, because you never want to be hit over the head with AT&T. Right. It was actually very subtle and pretty seamless. So I thought they did a good job with it.
No Steve Carell, though. I suppose he was too expensive.
He was probably way too expensive.
Right.
It does revolve around Rainn Wilson. So he probably is the top billing, top paid person in the commercial. But I actually liked it. I always take a look at these things because brand integration now can be, when it's well done, it's great. And when it's horribly done and they hit you over the head with things, you're like, that was really bad. So whomever the team was, bravo to them because this was great.
Tell you what, the extended versions of The Office, what a great show that is. They're 37 minutes long, something like that. They're a bit longer. But that entire cast was perfect. I mean, I don't know who put that cast together, but they were beautiful in those roles.
Yeah, it was perfect until Steve Carell left. And then they tried to find that replacement, and it just never landed. It was still worth watching, but the magic of what those seasons were like with Steve were never matched.
That's one thing I'm telling you. I just love that line. There's no question about it. I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious. That is a great line.
And Steve Carell's so talented. He's on Broadway right now. So
is he?
This is his Broadway debut. I just feel like he is one of those actors that honestly can do anything. Absolutely seamless between comedy and drama. So talented.
What was the drama he was chained to his bed in his basement. What was that called again? Steve Carell was in it. What the hell was the name of that thing? Really, he was phenomenal in it. He's really, really good.
I don't know good. I don't know the title, but he plays a therapist in that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Yep, it was a damn good show. It was maybe an 8-10 part or something like that. Really
limited
good.
Series.
A limited series, yeah. But the casting of that entire Office series was just wonderful.
Yeah, it's lightning in a bottle. There are certain casts that you go, you'll never be able to replicate that. I know that they're trying to do an Office spinoff. They've hired writers, so they're working on a concept. But again, it's lightning in a bottle. Things you just will never recapture.
I couldn't agree more. I don't do that. It's a bad idea. Every time has that ever worked? The reboot with different people, has that worked on anything?
Well, this one is not considered a reboot per se. It's considered within the Office universe. And I think that that's what they're trying to do these days is within the realm of The Office. So somehow it'll make sense, and maybe you'll see some of the characters seamlessly like do a cameo and come in and out. That's what they're trying to do with the Suits reimagined part of the universe kind of situation where it's in the same time frame, and so they can have characters come in and out, but it's based in a different city with new characters.
God, I just watched an episode where this young black man had joined the Office. He became part of the Office, you know, the business and all the rest of it. And Steve Carell, oh my God, he goes so over the, you know, we've got a black man with us now. I want you all to I said a black man, and just will not stop. Just going after the skin color thing and how special and wonderful it is. It's hilarious to watch.
Well, I think it's interesting too. I mean, there are certain episodes that you look at, and this was not that long ago. You could not write those and put them on the air now. Scott's Tots, I think, is one of them. There's a Christmas Eve, I think it's Christmas Eve episode, the Christmas party episode. They go to the Chinese food restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Would happen in 2024.
Because didn't they have the episode where they do the stereotypes of like, they have like the cards on their head, and he's like, I'm a really bad driver, and I think like the card said Asian on his forehead, and I think it's Rainn Wilson. And like Steve Carell's trying to explain like stereotypical things about Asians, and he goes, yeah, I'm a terrible driver. And then Rainn's like, oh, I'm a woman.
Things you could never, ever write, but you watch and you go, that's funny. I think All in the Family is probably another type of sitcom that we just wouldn't see again. But they were groundbreaking and push buttons and made people think. But, you know, comedy shifts, you know, and we're just in a different generation of comedy right now.
I just love the fact that All in the Family is the first series to ever flush a toilet on the show. Did you know that? It's the first time you ever heard a toilet flush on a series was on All in the Family.
Well, and you think about how relatively modern that is. Or I think about, like, I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
She was the first person that was like, what was it, pregnant? Or they could say the word pregnant.
Yes. Yep.
You're like, what is wrong with the word pregnant?
I know. They got different rules. That show made television. It was one of the few shows that did make that. God, that show to this day is funny.
Yeah, not only is it funny, but I was just talking about this with somebody else, and obviously I Love Lucy plays a big part in our household and in our income because my husband plays, you know, Ricky Ricardo quite a bit.
Right.
But the techniques, and I'm talking about on-camera techniques, technology, is still used to this day. Like when we watch sitcoms, that was created by Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball in the 50s. Unbelievable things. They're just like, this is a situation comedy as created by them. They're long gone, and we're still utilizing their devices.
Some of the greatest lines in the history of television, too. They're just William Frawley. I don't know. He got some of the best lines of anybody on that show. He was terrific on that show.
Yeah, and people don't give, you know, Fred and Ethel as much credit, but they were also part of the magic.
Phenomenal. Like I said, just that one line that I'm sure said a million times, but it's so good. When Ethel started bragging about all her boyfriends before she married William Frawley, she's just, I just want to say, I know you know maybe get a little tired, but when I was a girl, the boys were buzzing around me like bees. Pause, William Frawley. Then how come I'm the one that got stung? That is a great line. That line has been good for 75, 80 years. It's phenomenal, right?
Well, and lines like that, or I mean, how many TV shows have had at some point, you know, Honey, I'm Home or Lucy, I'm Home type of thing where like my dad used to say it to my mom like every day when he got home from work. So it's like things like that live on forever from that show.
They do. Yeah, because that's 75 years ago, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think here's the other situation, too, when you really think about this. I think a lot of, you know, if you mention other classic Hollywood TV or film stars, many generations are just not aware of who they are. But I think that they're aware of I Love Lucy because it permeates pop culture still.
How did it ever happen? Whose idea was I Love Lucy? Because it was brilliant for the time and, as you said, still lasts to today.
The CBS network was looking for a vehicle for Lucille Ball. And I do know that she would only do it if Desi was involved. She wanted him
Right.
off the road because, listen, he was a womanizer. And she wanted
he's a
to,
handsome devil. The handsome
and
guy.
she wanted him home where she could keep him accountable.
Mhm.
And she also wanted to start a family. And she knew none of that was going to happen if, he was on the road and she was on the road doing variety shows, and sometimes they weren't doing it together. So,
Right.
and the network was very reticent about putting a Cuban man on television. And they didn't think anyone was going to understand his accent, which I think is so funny because they leaned so far into his accent and sometimes
Yes.
what he was saying or cultural differences. And for a lot of people, you have to remember the times, maybe that was their first interaction with someone who was Cuban.
I think it was, I'm trying to think of something I didn't like about the show. I couldn't find anything. I loved the casting, the fact that their neighbors, Fred and Ethel lived, I don't remember, down the hall or upstairs or whatever the hell it was. All of it worked perfectly. So whoever deserves the credit for that, if it's Lucy and Desi or who the hell ever it is, they did a great job with that show.
Yeah, they did. And I think Lucille Ball gets a lot of the credit for because of her star power. But I think a lot of the behind the scenes devices really were the thought process of Desi Arnaz. I don't think he gets that credit. But I'll throw it out there for him. But together as a team, they were so powerful and so incredible. It's one of those things, they remain friends even to the end, even though their marriage didn't work out.
Right.
And
Yep.
we wouldn't have reruns without Desi and Lucy. They didn't exist ahead of time. And the network was like, why would we rerun an episode? That doesn't make sense.
Right.
And when she was out giving birth in real life, people who hadn't caught the original episodes started watching the show, and it actually had higher ratings than the original airing. And people were like, this show is great. So that when she returned from maternity leave and they started doing the live shows again, it was a blockbuster.
It's pretty amazing because after all those years you just talked about, I still have not met one person that did not like that show. Everybody loves that show.
Yeah, even if it's not your genre or you're thinking, oh, the comedy is a little dated here or there. There are moments that you can pick out. You can find a scene in I Love Lucy that will have you rolling on the floor.
No doubt about it. What a great way to wrap up your segment today, talking about I Love Lucy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we live and breathe here in our household. Bill's prepping for the Lucille Ball Comedy Festival in August in Jamestown. So he'll be performing there as Ricky Ricardo. So I'm excited to go back. Last time we were there, I think was maybe 2017 or 18. And it is so much fun.
And little Ricky playing the drums on national television. I'll never forget it. It's a wonderful show, no question.
Yep.
All right, Pally, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
For Friday.
Friday. There you go. Yeah, I'm going to do it one more time. What's that say on your shirt? I just thought I'd do it again. Thank you, my dear. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. That is going to do it. The family show will kick off in about 15 minutes. Have a good day.
You too. Take it easy.